This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned, then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
Arise!
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. It really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
We'll show them that the fire is the Archduke's.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage. Will that be all? I am sorry, my lord. Every Guardian must contribute fairly to the cause.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buick Bridge, and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
Sir Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
We'll keep them from the bridge. Don't you worry.
You'd better. Brother Wade's life depends upon it.
blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Look at me sideways.
Come along now.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battle for them. Slow.
More dragons.
Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
Nice try.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him, and means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosefield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others. Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Against the gloom of bygone days, two boats of flame take flight. From glowing embers, beacons blaze to see us through the night.
Maeve over there's the best thing to happen to Hideaway since, well, ever. she's got a smile like sunshine, and she can pull an ale like no other.
Welcome back, Sid. How am I getting on? About as well as you'd expect of a barmaid pouring sour ale for penniless outlaws in the middle of the Deadlands. And it'd be worse than that if Molly here didn't make the best stew this side of Stonehair, even if it is mostly just yesterday's leavings. Don't tell her you heard that from me, though. Don't be a stranger, Sid.
I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first ton of worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the Gormans of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Nothing but unwanted violets will do, if I'm to resurrect this stew. As to what they might be, as you say, that is a question for a butcher.
That monster's taken quite a liking to me.
A sea voyage this time, is it? I can lend you an oilskin if you're looking to keep the salt off your back.
Typical nobles, cowering behind their walls rather than joining the fight.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Same way they never heard about us, I expect.
There are new billets being posted every day, but not enough swords to see to them.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Yet normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what do you say?
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Here's everything we've received, and everything promised. All yours. All done?
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the Blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Drastanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drastanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Ah, my favorite pupil. One would think. I admit, a far more reputable fellowship. My beloved homeland. Or at least, it was. Allow me to educate you. Here you are.
Okay, I grabbed a coffee here, and I just wanted to take some time to talk about the map and kind of go through the events to see if we can glean some understanding. So right off the bat, this is interesting. We have kind of, these islands over here, which I'm assuming these were all islands of the Iron. Actually, doesn't look like it. This looks like no man's land, kind of, or at least Dalmekian, perhaps. Here we have Craig Loisgate, something like that. I don't think we ever see this. But here we are. We are in the year 860. This is where the game begins with young Clive. Over here's the duchy, and they've taken Drake's Breath, right? Which this would have been a capital of Rosaria. Here's Rosaria over here. The Reds, its territory. Okay. Yeah, remember this. Rosalith is sending the ducal army to Phoenix Gate with Joshua so they can hear from their ancestors before they sail out to take Drake's Breath. So the reinforcements are here. Their reinforcements are here, moving to here. Clive, of course, with Sir Tyler and Sir Wade, goes and clears out the Stillwind Marsh, which is apparently a blighted realm, but it doesn't look incredibly blighted here. Up here in the north, we see that this red, all this red, the dark red is where it's blighted, right? This is all blighted land. Here's Drake's Eye, which died. Interesting. So then I wonder who Shiva's dominant was before Jill. Because that's super. I'd love to see the story of the fall of Drake's Eye. That'd be a great DLC idea. And then this all became essentially pacified under Archduke Elwyn. And this is where the Frostwolf comes from. So this was 6 years ago. And this is when Jill would have come. Okay, so there are destabilization. So there does seem to be some amount of stuff happening up here. There are people up here. They didn't all get sucked into Rosaria. But Jill itself is of Rosaria. Okay. Awesome. So this is the Night of Flames. Okay, so yeah, so this is... Here's Sandbreck, obviously, Oriflamme, Drake's Head. Yeah, that's all good. Wait, what did it say? Enjoy life of plenty thanks to the crystal's blessing. Okay, so their religion is based around the mother crystals being gifts from Grieger. Okay, so the Empire has been at war with the Kingdom of Waloed ever since the battles of the Twin Realms in 865. And that's, okay, so that's what Benedicta would have been talking about in the demo in the opening, right? Was it not you who drove back the Empire in the Battle of the Twin Realms? Calling out the weakness of Dalmek? But that doesn't make sense. Oh, Dalmek with Sandbreck drove back Waloed. Okay. So yeah, so they come in, invasion of Phoenix Gate. Clive does all his power to save his brother and father from the Imperial infiltrators, but alas, it is not enough. The Phoenix awakens and runs rampant, and in the ensuing maelstrom, Clive blacks out. He's found in the rubble the next morning and enslaved by the Imperial army on his mother's orders. The Night of Flames. This is what it's known as here. Super cool. A mother crystal that is believed to have stood in an area in the northeastern part of Demmechia. Oh, so the Zemeckis, this is that final sin. That'd be interesting to see like a dominant of Leviathan there. Drake's tail. Okay, so this is the crystalline dominion here. Drake's horn. Interesting, okay. So there's Drake's horn and Drake's spine. So okay, so we have, let's count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And then we have Zemeckis, Drake's horn, and Drake's eye all wiped out. So there should have been 8. 8 mother crystals spread out. That's interesting. Okay. So now we're seized by Sambrek, where, let's see. Yeah, Rosalith. The Boiling Crusade. So then that makes sense. Jill was taken from the northern reaches and adopted into the royal family of the Rosarians, or at least amongst the nobles, and then the Boiling Crusade came in. So in the year 861, taking advantage of the discord arising from Rosaria's internal woes in the wake of the Night of Flames, the Iron Blood launched an attack that inflicted devastating losses on an already crippled nation. Okay, so essentially, but no, like Sambrek has entirely taken over this realm. Okay. Death in Defile. Oh, this would be in the Nisa Defile. So yeah, so we have up here territories. This is all blue now. Okay, so yes, this is all blue. I don't know who that is. Yeah, and then, okay, so we see over here from the Holy Empire of Sambrek, here's Oriflamme, that they're launching an attack southwards. Oh, okay, so you have the Iron Kingdom who's coming in on the south into Demmechia. Why? It's the Battle of the Nisa Defile over here. Yeah, so then you have the Demmechia Republic, and they send in, and they meet in the Nisa Defile. So here's Fort Sinitra. So this would all kind of be down by, here's Randala. don't remember if we come to Randala in the game at all. And then, of course, we end up down here with Tiamat and Wyvern, or Tiamat and them to Care Norvent. Yeah, Sid's Hideaway. He comes up here. Oh, yeah, and then you have... So we come all the way up here to Lost Wing, which is exactly where she goes. And then, of course, she heads to the Royal Intelligencers. Yeah, and this was fun. Here's where we fought, this is where we finally fight against Benedicta. Garuda's Rage. Yeah, she comes over here. So they're over here. Oh, they're retreating to Waloed. And she's upset. Ultima appears to her. And then here's the Eye of the Tempest. Up here by the Dragon's Eyrie. At this time, it seems like Waloed has fully expanded its border and really united. The Battle of Belinus Tor. A battle rages atop Belinus Tor between the legions of Sambrek and the Royal Knights of Waloed. Oh, yeah, we saw this. This is where the violins kicked in. Right, and then, of course, we come straight back to the hideaway as Sambrek defends itself from Waloed's borders. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they have a stronghold in the realm now. Where? Was the Salvation at King's Fall. Cid rendezvous with Gav at the King's Fall is forestalled by the presence of the Imperial soldiers. That's right. So here's the Imperial armies. Western, yeah. And then we save Gav. He almost falls off a cliff. Okay. A duchy despoiled. Right, here we are. We meet Martha's Rest, Eastpool. Eastpool's called, and we make our way to Phoenix Gate. Yeah, the apothecary. All this is good. Okay, so the end of Eastpool. Yeah, the village was abandoned, and Martha's Rest took in a lot. So we're heading on our way back from Phoenix Gate to Sid's Hideaway, when from Rosalith, Sambrek armies come in and do the callings. So Rosalith has kind of become this outpost where Annabella can spread her evil throughout the realm, while they sit unabated over here. The Drake decapitated. Yeah, okay. So then this is... Right. Okay, so we leave. We come up through here to Lost Wing. From Lost Wing to Northreach. Up here is more. Right, then we made it to Oriflamme, went to Drake's Head. I assume he would be, yeah. So here it is. Here's where everything changes. And then at the same time, we know, yeah, Hugo Kupka of 5 smaller stations located in the southern half of the, also to the Mother Crystal. Right, and that's right, because Benedicta's head would have been taken by Sleipnir or by Odin and sent to him, so that as we're going to Drake's Fang, they're attacking the hideaway. Nice. And now the Empire's new dominion. Okay, well, let's look at us. So we went from Sid's hideaway was here. And the Blighted Lands. Here's Sid. So we were on the land. And then we moved out to decidedly unlike its predecessor. Benumir. Yeah, that makes sense. What's going on in the rest of the realm? Okay, what's the Crystalline Dominion? I don't... A once independent state straddling the continents of Storm and Ash. Its capital, Twinside, is built on the tiny Isles of Ark, from which its mother crystal, Drake's Tail, rises. After Drake's Head was destroyed in 873, the Holy Empire of Sambrek declared Twinside its new capital in defiance of the long-standing non-aggression treaty. I remember that. That's the scene with the Emperor. Whilst controversial, the move carried out by Prince Dion and his Knights Dragoon proceeded mostly unopposed, largely due to the Dominion's lack of a dominant of its own with which to intimidate its interlopers. Okay, so now this was no man's land, and now this is really where that scene of the Emperor comes in. They take it. Now Twinside is no longer its own. Now they've taken Drake's Tail. Okay, so then the Dalmekian Republic is pursuing Sid to Costinize. Right, I do remember this place, yeah, because we came down into here. And then I don't actually remember, do we have like some sort of battle here with the Dalmekian forces? I don't recall that. Right, yeah, okay, so actually here, Sambrick is rather more interested in tormenting his own nation's bearers, all to ensnare Sid the Outlaw, the one he believes murdered his love. So in his costness, was there like... Am I here? Okay, and so yeah, okay, so let's just say that there's some sort of conflict that happened in Costness. We're coming to Martha's Rest. This is where Martha was attacked. Oh, this is interesting. Siege of the Crystalline Dominion. A conflict fought between the Holy Empire of Sambrek and the Republic of Dalmekia in the year 878, largely concerning control over the crystalline dominion. The dominion had previously been the subject of a non-aggression pact between the Palestinian nations, but in 873 the empire claimed Twinside for its new capital. Okay. I don't know, do we get to see this at all? This play out? March of the Black Shields. So from Rosalith, the Black Shields are coming out this way to Cull. Right, Gladeamon Abbey. And out this way towards Eastpool. And that's what we're doing. We're coming from Martha's Rest to meet them and say no. And this is where we just fought them. Yeah, so we came to Port Isolde. They're still just culling people. They're just killing. The Black Shields are coming up this way. While at the same time this war is still going on. Interesting. And then here's where we are. We're going to head to break Drake's breath. And they're still fighting. Oh, so finally, this kind of ends with... Are they fighting right till the end? Who's this? Knights Dragoon, the Imperial Army. So what happens here? Following Dion's rebellion. Interesting. So then I don't get who takes over. A federation of neighboring independent city-states located to the southeast. Part achieved their independence in the year 857. So this is 3 years. Okay, so this would be like Ul'dah, right? Very similar to Ul'dah. Okay, let's go back though. Yeah, here we are. Rosaria Rising, that's where we were.
Of course.
This is also so cool. I don't think we really need it all that much, to be honest. Like, I felt everyone's really well explained. Interesting. Onward to Oriflamme and then rejects Ultima. Yeah, I'm loving this. This is so much information. This is exactly what you need. Because it really puts the whole story back into perspective. But this was amazing. I really enjoyed this. Later on today, we are going to conquer Oriflamme, but right now I need to stop. So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and we will talk later.